Drop it in the chat, just in case. So, greetings, everybody. I know that's a word y'all hear a whole lot. This is Mwai from Lock Shots Media, Lock Shots Photography. Lock standing for Love and Obsidian Culture. We wanted to do something special for our Black women because it's National Black Women History Month, National Black Women Month. That's what I'm calling it. Again, if anybody tells you anything different, a different name, don't listen to them because they can't be trusted. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that we want to say something before this month closes out, uplifting our Black women. Today we have some very, very special women that are known to Lock Shots. And one of the things that we like to do is we like to uplift our local heroes because I truly believe that our celebrities are next to us. I don't need to turn on the TV to see them. I can just pick up the phone call and call them. So right now we have Trey Johns, we have Nubian, we also have Jasmine Floyd. Also, one of the co-hosts today is going to be Nate. Y'all seen Nate a whole lot. He's filling in the. He's filling in for the. I was gonna say he's filling in for the car specialist, but he's not doing that today. But good brother Nate. So we just wanted to have a talk today. Just go ahead and uplift the Black woman. After that, we have this conversation. It's going to be followed up by a really great video that we were able to put together with some really great people on it. We definitely aren't limited to the women that are on this call or in the video. As far as greatness, there's a lot more. This is just all we have the ability to do with the footage that we have. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Nate to say a few words. And get
Peace and love, everybody. I'm Nate Turner, CEO of Mind Ground Entertainment, also the co-founder and director of Nathan Ross Incorporated. Big shouts out to Jasmine and NY for having me to be the co-host for this wonderful event as we crown the Black woman and give her the glory that she is truly deserving of. And again, it's just an honor to be here, man. I obviously come from a Black woman. I fathered a young Black woman. And again, man, I think this is just something that not only Black women deserve, right, but something that should automatically be done. And I appreciate you all for just moving the culture forward with the things that you're doing, particularly like with the use of media and being able to provide us with the platform to really speak truth to power. So excited to be here today.
Sweet. Can we, Nubia, can you go ahead and give a quick introduction? We're not going to start with your questions yet. Just wanted you to, introduce yourself briefly before we go deep down into the questions. And we're just going to go around the table, make sure everybody understands who you are and get a chance to hear your voice before we get into the thick of it.
Greetings, everyone. So honored to be here today to receive my crown. My name is Nubian Roberts. I work in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm an activist, an advocate, and also an entrepreneur. I have dreams of being a doula as well. So I'm a woman who loves to serve, and I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Go for it, Trey.
How y'all doing? I'm Trey Johns. My pronouns are he, she, him, or her. At the end of the day, I was born a Black woman, so I am subjected to all the amazing and not so amazing things that comes with being a Black woman. And I work in Florida, and I do what I want to do. That's what I do.
Wonderful. Last but not least, go ahead, Jasmine Floyd. Full government. What's your middle name?
Definitely not doing that right now or ever on screen. But greetings, everybody. I'm Jasmine Floyd, owner, founder, CEO, all those great things of Artillery Soul LLC. It's a creative service agency. I'm also a songwriter, singer, and I be doing what the hell I want to do too. Shout out to Trey. I be doing what I want to do, but I'm really big on community work. and I'm really happy to be here for this program. And I just wanted to highlight queens that I just know, like they're right here in front of us. So that's what we're here for today. Thank you.
Awesome. So just so we get started, because we just had a few questions for everyone. And one of the reasons that we wanted to do this again, we wanted to make sure that we don't leave this month without saying our piece and uplifting the Black women. This is a beautiful time, long time coming for the Black women. And I've been definitely fighting this fight for a very long time since I was a teenager, uplifting. So I'm extremely excited every single time that another achievement is had for our Black women, because it's any achievement for the Black woman is the achievement for Black people all around. So we just wanted to have some real loose questions for you. So first, I'm just going to start off with something light, and I'm going to start with Trey Johns. Trey Johns, just give me like real quick, what is your favorite meal? You didn't think I was going to come with that. You thought I was going to come with something heavy. No. What's your favorite meal, Trey?
No, I mean, I laugh because I don't eat. I literally put food in my body so that I can live. It's for sustenance only. I mean, coffee, blunt. That's my favorite meal. I could eat that 12 times a day and live my best life.
Coffee and a blunt. I don't know what kind of nutrients are in there. So you're telling me that you eat chicken without salt and pepper on it, no seasoning. This is what you're doing? Trey, you ain't no salt and pepper.
I can say I have never in my 46 years of living taken a salt shaker and poured it on my food and eaten it. Never, ever.
Doing the preparation.
Yes, that's why you look like that at 46. Golly, I thought you was like late 20s.
I'm
Black
almost,
does not crack.
I am a grandmother.
Wow. Hey, but Trey, like on a more serious note, like talk about why you only drink coffee and a blunt. Like what keeps you so busy, going so much that's what you got to resort to.
Well, in a former life, I raised 8 kids. I was 26 years old with 8 kids under the age of 12. And now they're all grown. And I still got 8 kids under the age of 12 and they kids. And then there's the movement. I fight for Black liberation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I start with, if my son in Southern Illinois breaks his toenail, here comes mommy on a plane to see about him. If my sister in Chicago does something, I'm driving from West Palm Beach to Chicago to see about my sister. And when Black women get arrested in Jacksonville, I raise $585,000 in 8 days to bail them out. And so therefore I don't have time to eat. I know I do not. My self-care comes from making sure the world around me is okay. And I'm okay with that. Other people ain't okay with it. They always telling me you should eat. No, I'm 46. And I can clearly tell anybody in the world I was 27 years old and they would believe me. I still get carded for 18 and up places. So I'm good. I'm all right. This is what drives me. The movement to make sure my grandbabies don't suffer the inequalities that I've gone through for 46 years is what keeps me young and keeps me going off of coffee and a blunt every day.
Salute. Nubian, what kind of sustenance you put in your body, Queen?
Well, I can attest to Trey being a coffee and a blunt drinker and smoker, because when he asked her that question, I wanted to bust out laughing because, I know that's my sis. She don't eat much. But I definitely am a person who, I have a great appreciation for wellness. I have a great appreciation for healthy food. So I really try to put the best that money can buy in my body. I'm one of those pescatarian, vegan people. I change it up all the time. Detox, all that. But if we're talking favorite meal, I would say my favorite meal is lobster. I enjoy a good lobster. That's what I treat myself with when, I'm celebrating. So I definitely love seafood. I love being in Florida because we got some of the best seafood. But on a daily regimen, though, I definitely take vitamins. I definitely utilize, using good eating habits as a form of just staying healthy and to be able to keep myself energized to do the work. Because I feel like what you put in your body definitely affects your mental wellness and your physical wellness. So those things are very important to me.
Well, that's a perfect segue, right? So you eat this nutritional food to give you energy for all of the things that you're involved in. So obviously we don't have enough time for you to talk about all of the things that you're involved in because you do so much for the community. Can you just give us, a general overview of the work that you do? Be specific, but again, you do so much. But just talk to us about the work that you do.
Your connection is kind of going out for me. I can really hear the question.
Can you hear me now? I was just saying, can you talk to us about some of the work that you do?
Oh, absolutely. What I'm working on now is a lot like Trey Johns. I'm working with Black women who are looking at crazy cases here in Jacksonville, one being Diamonds Ford, the other being Brittany Williams. And please Google those two names so that you can find out more about these two cases, because what we have here in Jacksonville is Black women not being protected and Black women being punished for protecting themselves. And so right now, a lot of my time is spent working on these two campaigns, as well as, I work a full-time job and I do a lot of things around democracy. I've been working here in Jacksonville lately on the school name changes. We have, apologize for my dog. We have a campaign running right now called Quit Playing Games and Change the Name. So I've been going to those meetings and demanding that the school board just look at that and listen to the children here in Jacksonville who want the name to be changed to something that's more proper, because we should not be lifting up Confederate soldiers who I personally think are terrorists as a Black woman. And a lot of the kids just feel like they don't have any respect in the school that's educating them. It's a shame that Robert E. Lee's name is going to be bigger on the diploma of Black women and Black men, because 70% of those children attend that school. So it's time for us to just move forward and be more progressive here in Jacksonville. So that is one of the things that I am working on. And I'm also working on some small gardens around town, and I always keep busy, just kind of butt my nose into the economics of Jacksonville. Black economics are truly important to me. I've been basically the face of a Black app called the Uplift, which encourages folks to spend money with Black businesses. So I've been, rallying around just getting Black folk on this app so that we're in touch with each other. And then also letting white people know that if they want to spend money in our Black community with Black businesses, the Uplift is a place that they can go to. And then on my downtime, my hobby is babies. I want to deliver babies. So I've been spending a great amount of time here researching and just learning about being a doula, because I have a vision for the Black community. And, I'm just hoping that God will open the doors so that I can bring it forth and we can teach Black women, one, the art of being a doula, which is a great career that a lot of white women have kind of came and taken over, when we originally, our ancestors were delivering babies because that's all that we could do. A lot of times we couldn't go to hospitals. So that is something that, I think is, it's something that our culture needs to take a handle back on. Like, we should own that. Like, we need to deliver our own babies and have them come into this world in love. that'll change just the way that, you know, we look as a people, I think. So that's a few things that I'm working on.
Awesome sauce. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What about you, Jazz? What are some of the things that you're working on? We want to make sure that everybody gets full participation here. Jazz didn't want to talk everybody. She wanted to sit there and just be glamorous.
He's gonna all the way.
That's not what we're going to do today.
Thank you so much, brother, for all the support and not putting me out and having my back. Thanks. But seriously, some of the things I'm working on, I feel like what am I not working on? But essentially I work with creative business planning. And so that what that looks like is event production virtually and in person. Now outside is starting to open up a little more. I take ideas and I help make them manifest and become real. And I don't care what kind of idea that is. I help with writing. So digital marketing and writing. So if you have website writing, you know, you want kind of put in good words and placed with words that are good for Google search engines and all these other great things. I spend my time doing that, and I've celebrated about a year and some change now of owning my own business and doing this on my own. Formerly, I was an educator for a few years. I taught high school U.S. history. I've worked in the movement space. I've kind of done, you know, just everything I've wanted to do. Anything that I can do from my little flower power heart of creativity, I do it, and with always the mindset of advancing and with expansion for my community, for myself, for everything. Like it literally, I feel like I'm living the life I always dreamed now that I get to do this type of work in this way. I felt when I was teaching, I loved the students, but I hated being stuck in a classroom. So being able to, you know, one day I'm working and I'm in a coffee shop, and then the next day I'm helping to make calls for storm relief. You know what I mean? Like to just move my life and help in any possible way that I can. It's been amazing. So that's a lot of the work I do. Oh, and then I songwrite. And that's my real heart. So I write music and I work in the studio. That's why this stuff is here. Like I do it at home. I have my own digital audio workstation at home. I've helped write on some other records. I've sang professionally for years, over 10 years at this point. And so I'm still doing that. I'm putting my hands in everything, working in festivals, advancing the kingdom of Blackness.
Dope.
Beautiful.
Hey, so MY, I know that you had a question. Can I ask this one question first? Is just making me think about it.
Go for it.
All right, awesome. So I hear one of the first things that Trey said was you know, I be doing what I want to do, and Jasmine kind of co-signed, and obviously Nubian talks with the level of light. Obviously, right, you guys, your work is involved in liberating the people. But talk to me, there's a level of, I guess, freedom, for lack of a better term, that you all describe. Can you talk about whether or not you feel free individually? Obviously, Black people are not free, or we don't feel free, but whatever freedom means to you and the freedom that you're working towards for yourselves, or maybe you feel free individually. Can you just talk about that? Is my question making sense? Can you talk about freedom and if you feel free and what freedom means to you and the work regarding getting us free? Anybody can take it.
Yep. I'll try my best. Those types of questions, I feel like the answer to it is ongoing and it can be circumstantial. So sometimes I don't like to give like a hard stop answer, but an overarching answer, I guess, would be freedom to me varies on the person. And for me personally, it varies on the day, but it really is a mind state. It is a heart place. It's a place of being. Paradise is in your mind. My favorite songwriter and singer says, India Ari. So I know that sounds idealistic, but I really frame that in a logical way. I am free. Sometimes I don't feel so free when I keep looking out at the way society is, the way that social structures have been set up. just fighting things that I've been taught, that, creating my own mindset of what works for me in my life. Freedom is constant for me. I'm constantly like re-evaluating, redefining what freedom looks like to me. It used to be mobility, like being out on my own and discovering the world. And then at another phase in life, it was, connection, making sure that I was grounded and with the right kind of friends and the right kind of business, and leaving teaching because I hated it and then moving into something else. So, and in terms of what freedom looks like for the movement, it's similar to that. Like, I believe I'm living the freedom that I'm talking about, because like I said before, they were Nubian and Trey, heavy hitters in the movement. I do my bit. I know I'm a heavy ass hitter too, though, but I like where I get the heavy hit from. I like that we need every part in the mechanism has to function, and someone needs to be in every role. And so I guess it's just determining who you are and understanding what freedom looks like for you. So that's me.
Well, I think I probably could, in a short term. So I fight every day for mental liberty, right? Because the work that we do is extremely heavy. And a lot of times I feel like I don't have the freedom to move how I want to, because other people hold the keys to that. And that's more like on a systematic level. I kind of have embraced this saying in the movement where we say, no one's free until we're all free. So yes, on a daily basis, I fight for my mental liberation, which is my place where I feel free in my head, free to, make things. I don't always, because I know that so many of my brothers and sisters are not free mentally, not free physically. And how can I really live in liberation and they don't have it? They're not there yet. So that's my answer. So I'll pass it over to Trey.
Well, my place in this movement is, I like to say, rapid response. I feel like almost like a EMT. I'm the first person that they call and the last person to get any accolades when it's successful, because I like to come in and get out and go. Part of what I do, I didn't ever explain anything what I do. I'm the executive director of Fed Fam for Life, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the restoration of women coming home from prison. I'm also the executive director of Dignity Power, a political home for formerly incarcerated women, where our voices are heard, where we create, draft, write, push, and implement legislation for women that are incarcerated. I am a prison abolitionist, but I do believe that there are people in our society that need to be removed from society, and that we have to work with the current system that we have. And as we look to abolish prison for women and girls, we also look to keep the women that are currently incarcerated safe and be able to live and be released with dignity and self-respect. Women that are incarcerated are hidden, and they are the most abused people that we have in this country, period. So what I do is, for a long time, I was a jailhouse lawyer. I like to get people out of prison. I like to get women out of prison. And I write federal compassionate release, clemency, appeals. We also work toward bailing people out. We've participated in the Black Mama bailout for the last 2 years. So we are initiating our sister bailout, to where we will function as our own bailout to bail out Black women. So wherever Black women are arrested, I'm going to go and get them. I have bailed out women in Indianapolis, Atlanta, Mississippi, Chicago, North Carolina, and 5 women down here in Florida. Where my sisters is at, I'm going to go get my sisters if they need me. We also passed legislation, dignity for incarcerated women in 2019, the Tammy Jackson Act in 2020, and our legislation was halted this year. We had a bill called Protecting the Dignity of Women and Infants, which banned pregnant women from state prisons. But because white male representatives are mad at the Florida organizers for the way we acted in committee the first week of session, they're not hearing any bills. And this is literally a bill of compassion and common sense. You know, you can't say you're pro-life and anti-abortion, but you allow babies to be born on metal floors. That's just ridiculous. So when I talk about freedom and when I talk about liberation, you know, it's the freedom to do exactly what I'm doing. And that's everything that needs to be done to make sure our people are free one by one. You know, it's people that out here, you know, feeding people. People need to be fed. It's people out here housing people. People need to be housed. And wherever our people is at, that's where we meet them. So that's what freedom looks like to me. I can get up every day and respond to somebody in North Carolina and not worry about having to wait till I get off work to do it.
Beautiful. Did we miss anybody? Nubian, you went? Good. So first, I want to definitely thank everybody for doing all the work that we're doing, because we know that there's a lot of gaps that need to be filled for various reasons. We know how that goes historically. So right now, there's a lot of bridges that all of you are building to eliminate those gaps in our communities, and we love you for it. One of the things I wanted to ask is it's a two-part question, right? Because I wanted to cross generations. So one, I wanted to know what inspires you, and then I want to know who you would like to inspire in the work that you're doing. Like, who would you like to be touched by the work that you're doing? Somebody that's either, well, I'm not gonna give you all y'all answers. So those two-part questions: who inspires you, and who would you like to inspire? We will start with whomever speaks first.
I guess that'll be me. So, who inspires me? That's an easy question because I think about her every day. My big mama, she's indigenous and an amazing activist. The first one that I ever seen. I don't think she even knew she was an activist and an advocate. She used to feed all the kids in our little small country town of Whitesburg, Georgia. She would feed all the little white kids, all the little black kids. We didn't really have nothing other than that there. But she brought those kids all together in a very segregated city. And I see these same people that came through that Head Start. They still talk about my grandmother, and they talk about like how she really loved on them, how she really talked to them in a time where people weren't really talking about segregation, especially not to 4-year-olds. She took time out of her day to really like connect with the community in a way that I had never seen. And I remember being at her funeral, and I remember there were like thousands of people there. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, who are all these white people at Big Mama's funeral? Like, it was more white people there than black. And when the kids, well, they're adults at this time, when they all start talking, all they could talk about is how she taught them to love Black people, how she taught them, you know, how food brought families together and brought people together, because her being that cook and loving on those kids and talking to them, they didn't see color then. In a town called Whitesburg, where basically Black people lived on one side of town and white people lived on the other side, my grandmother brought all those people together. And she didn't have to. All she had to do was cook food and do her job, but she did so much more. So I just remember thinking at her funeral, like, will my life impact people the same way that hers did? And at that time, I didn't really think so, because, you know, I just had like one kid and I was just barely trying to, you know, be a mama to her. But listening to all the things that were said about my grandmother, and then them actually like honoring her as a legend, it changed me. It changed the inside of my heart, because I've always been told that I'm just like my big mama. I have a heart just like her. I spent the most time with her. I know more about anything in her life than anybody else really does in my family, because I was just that close to her. My mom was like the baby. So now that I'm in a place in my life where I'm kind of like a big mama, you know what I'm saying? Not so much feeding people by giving them food, but I feed them mentally with my knowledge. And I take time to listen to them, and I take time to connect with them where they are. I think about who I want to inspire, and I want to be very intentional with that. It's young Black women, who I am. I've got 2 daughters. I work to inspire them every day. And I really take the time out to really get down and talk to young Black kids, because I feel like they're going to own this world. They're going to take this world. They're going to be the ones to actually see all this hard work that we're putting into our community actually reap it. They're going to be the ones that got to carry it to the next leg. So I hope I answered that question clearly. You know, Big Mama inspires me, and I want to inspire young people. Trey looked like she want to say something, so you can go ahead.
Ready. Go for it, Trey. 3-state, Trey. 4-state.
I am national.
She is 30-state Trey now, baby. Okay, 30-state Trey.
What inspires me, is like my mom didn't grow up like love, because my grandmother's just an evil person. And she worked hard. My mom was dyslexic. So she worked at McDonald's for like 20 something years, making, at a time when they literally made like $4.10 an hour, raising 2 girls, getting up in Chicago in the snow, the rain, the sleet, and getting on the train to ride all of like an hour and a half downtown at 5 o'clock in the morning to open up these McDonald's for these rich white folks to make $4 an hour. And she did that, every single day, and I was like, oh man, why don't you get you a better job, but she couldn't. My mother had a 5th grade education. That was the best she could get. And then she did get another job with the city of Chicago, to where she was a transportation person. But it was like my mom was like 60 years old standing outside directing traffic for the Chicago Bears games in like 1-degree weather. It was cold on that lakefront in Chicago, but she did it, and she just did it. But she didn't do it and shower us with love. She just made sure we had everything that we needed. And so it just made me love, because then my niece, I don't have any biological daughters. I have 1 biological son. My niece came to live with me when she was 10 months old, and at 26, she was still living with me. She had her baby, and her baby came home from the hospital to our house in Florida. So that's my grandbaby, and the fact that my son has a child with a woman that he was with for 9 years. My son is 23. He was with her for 9 years. And a week after this baby was born, she took the baby away from us, and we haven't been able to see the baby. And the baby's a year old also. So I want to make sure that the legacy that I leave for my grandson, when he is old enough to walk, because the internet never dies. I want him to know that every single day I woke up fighting for the liberation of Black people, so that my son don't spend 13 years in federal prison for less than 10 grams of drugs like I did, so that my son is not, arrested and made a spectacle of at the White House, on $1,000 warrant from 8 states away, like I was. That there's some type of fairness and equity in the world that I leave behind for my grandson and my granddaughter, and that's what I inspire to do every day, to make sure when my kids look at me, they know that what we grew up with and the conditions that they had to face, that took me out of their lives, will not dictate their children's lives. My nieces and nephews have a bunch of kids now. This summer, lock shots, no. You know, I had 14 kids in my house under the age of 17. And next summer, it's going to be the same. I'm finna go get me a 6-bedroom house because I want my next generation to understand generational wealth. I want them to understand they all got debit cards, financial planning, financial freedom, understanding that, you know, you put $2 in Bitcoin and wait 10, 15 years. I want them to understand things that I was never taught, you know, and as I go out to liberate the world, they see that, you know, I am trying to pave a way to make their lives easier when they grow up. So
I will definitely be there next summer. Jazz?
Okay, so I would say, well, one, I feel like this is a good question, and with us answering it, because you said generationally, right? And I think my answer speaks to that generational piece also. I don't have children biologically as yet, but I'm in the age and in the space in my life where like lots of my friends have had children now, and my brother has had kids, and that has been like such a great experience for me. So when you speak to inspiration and then things that help with like who I hope to inspire, it's kind of linked in the same for me. While I was teaching, I would say like after my first 4 years, I got to see the return on what it's like to invest in someone else's child and to see what that, the little things that you can do sometimes, how children are inspired by it, or they pick up what you're saying and they're sponges and all these things that I heard growing up while being reared as a child into adulthood. It started to make sense, but it's been made so plain for me. I call my brother's kids my kids. Like it's the closest thing that I have to my own children. And it's like my heart is out of my chest. It's been the most feeling that I could feel towards it in real life. And absolutely, like now everything I'm doing, I think about who initially started with inspiring me, which for me, it's the same. It'd be the women, my OGs in my family, like my mother, my grandmother. Like I don't know another strong, my mom is just gonna get it done. My mother had my brothers and I at a very young age. She was in college, she dropped out. She was out for 20 years, came back, finished in like 2 years, graduated, started teaching, has been teaching for 15 years. And so she was in college right before I started college. So to literally see that and have someone make it plain and show me like, no, this is how to get it done. I'm not just gonna talk about it, I'm gonna do it. I think that's always made me have like this mindset about getting it done. That's what made me bold enough to jump off a ledge and leave a whole career of teaching and start my own business. And now seeing my brother's children has me completely focused on generational wealth building, legacy building. I took my niece to Wynwood to go see art when she was a year and a half. Like she may not remember it, but I wanted her to get it in before it was too gentrified. But everything, Black things, all the things, like I'm that aunt. Like I'm that aunt. I go all the way full out. I love my niece and nephew, their intricate preferences and things like that. Like it matters to me to be there because I know that's what they're gonna take with them overall.
You're on mute, Nate.
Salute. I think what's so beautiful about that is obviously I know that you all, have been influenced by other pioneers, right? But you all really went back to the roots, and rightfully so. So, shout out to Big Mama, Mama Trey, and Mama Flo, Mama Jazz for the work that you have done and the beautiful beings that you've created and the legacy that they will leave. With that being said, I have one more question. 2 messages. What is the message that you would have for one ancestor? And what is the message that you would have for one descendant?
I'll go. I got something real quick already. The ancestor, that's really good. The ancestor, I talk to them all the time. They're here with us now. So it's thank you. It is repeatedly thank you. And I got this. Like I know they're with me and I'm gonna continue it on. And those for the descendants after me is don't stop. Like don't stop, don't forget this. I think, and also really pushing family, community, like stay together, don't stop. That's what I would say.
Nubia, like you ready to go?
Okay. If I could relay a message to the ancestors, I would definitely start that conversation with letting them know how grateful I am for their sacrifice. And I would probably, if I could, I know it's one question, but I would probably want to know what kept them going. Because I really want to know what kept them going back then, because the fight that they were fighting was like way harder than the shit we're fighting. So I just would really want to know, and I would want to know, like, if it was God that kept them going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what kept you going, because I know that they're clear on that answer. And if I could talk to future descendants of the mother of the revolution, because that's what I'm leaving y'all with, okay? This Lock Shots recording from the mother of the revolution, descendants of Nubian, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to stay all the way together. I'm gonna need y'all to always love thyself and family, because through our family bond and our bloodline, we can accomplish anything. Because I'm literally giving you a warrior's bloodline, a spiritual, great bloodline. So y'all better not disappoint me, because I will come back and haunt you. I'm not above haunting them descendants.
Well, if I could get a message to the ancestors, I would tell them that no matter how hard that shit was, I did that shit. You know, I did it. I survived. I'm a veteran that went through horribly discriminated by the United States government. Horribly discriminated by a historically white college, you know, by the United States federal government, literally set up by the Secret Service. Literally, I mean, I went through that and I did that shit. And I did it as a Black, gay, formerly incarcerated, disabled veteran. And I did that shit, just like y'all sent me out to do, you know. And to the future generations, I would let them know that you can do that shit too, man. When you at your lowest, I always tell people I'm 110 pounds. I always get knocked down, but I will bite the hell out your ankle, because I ain't gonna never stop fighting you. I have sued white people. I have sued billion-dollar corporations by myself using the internet from the library and won. I've written clemency petitions to the president of the United States and won, and I'm not a lawyer. I've done things that people can never say that they've ever done. I've accomplished things in my capacity that was not supposed to be accomplished. So I would tell my future generations, you can do that shit if you want to. Period.
It was truly an honor, man. I just can't thank y'all enough for allowing me to be a part of this, allowing me to be a part of your experience. And I wish I had all of the words, but I'm just really humble, really grateful and thankful for not only the physical work that you're doing, but the way that you're inspiring our people and the way that you all have inspired me today. And I mean that with all sincerity and with all love. I feel a different level of empowerment today than I did yesterday. And I'm extremely thankful for you all for providing that for me. One love, for real, for real.
Indeed. Definitely going to co-sign everything that Nate just said. We're going to go ahead and close out. I want to thank the three of you from the bottom of my heart, Jazz, Nubian, and Trey. All the women that I've ever crossed paths with has always brought some type of lesson, and that's just how it goes. This is National Black Women's Month. But you can say that in a lot of different ways when we're talking about uplifting the Black woman. We could say uplifting somebody's daughter, uplifting somebody's aunt, uplifting somebody's sister. You know, it's a lot of different ways we can go with that, and those are a lot of different ways we need to go with it, because all of our Black women are someone to somebody, and we have to treat them as such. And every time we look at any type of Black woman walking down the street or any situation, understand that that is every single woman that's in your life. So that's why it's not hard for me at all to do anything like this, to put on any type of give up a platform, or step aside or step back for any type of Black woman. Is not hard at all, because they're every single woman that I've ever crossed paths with in my life, and I've had great women in my life. I'm one of those fortunate people. So it's easy. It's easy like a hot knife through butter, or whatever old country saying that y'all want to give. It's just easy. So I love you all, and I want to thank everything that y'all do, especially you, little homie Trey. We're gonna get some food in your system. I was asking you what you ate because we was gonna send you like a $500 gift card so you get that meal. But since you only do coffee, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with this the circle coffee house. It's Circle Coffee House, right? We don't name that other place. Circle Coffee. What is Planet 13? What is that? I don't even know what that is. But for everybody that's watching,
Dunkin' Donuts.
That's Planet 13 is Dunkin' Donuts? No, it's two different things.
Google it.
Google it. But real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. Please share the video. Take the time out to let any woman in your life know that they're loved. Give them a hug. Even when they mad at you, just go ahead and give them a hug and let them know that they're loved, so that they know that they are not alone. Because sometimes it's going to feel like that, because they have a lot of hard fights in front of them. And we want to make sure that they understand that they're not on the island. We here. There's a whole ass land out here that we got. We good on that. So once again, from Lock Shots, loving the city and culture. As Nate says all the time, peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. Everybody have a good
Black
day.
women at all costs.
Protect Black women at all costs. Later on today, we have a video for you. I'm going to air that on Lock Shots Media on the Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Real quick, if you guys want to give a shout out to your social media handles, so everybody knows how to follow you, because we're all doing this great work. Going down the line, we can start with Jazz.
You can follow me personal page, Jazz Inc. on IG, JAS.INC, or artillerysoul.inc. ARTILLERYSOL.INC. Sorry about that. But yeah, follow me online, all social media platforms. It's the same thing.
That was super long. We're going to drop that in the chat somewhere on the video. Nubian, one time for us, please.
Listen, I don't care nothing about y'all following me on social media. I'm going to give y'all my Cash App, because I need money to take care of a lot of things, okay? Baby, car down now. I can't even do the work like I need to be doing it. So the Cash App is $Free My Sisters 2020. So if you want to get down with that movement, feel free. If you're looking for me on social media, then good luck. Find me.
And
sister regular sister. How you spell it?
It is
drop it in the chat.
$free.
Drop it in the chat.
F-R-E-E.
Nah, drop it in the chat for that,
Okay.
brother. Make sure you got. I've changed
Drop
my
it in the chat.
My Cash App. Look, I've changed my name to my Cash App. So, again, I am Trey Rocks, TRAYROCKS. I am Fed Fam for Life across all social media. It's like Federal Family, abbreviated FED, FAM, the number 4, Life, LIFE, Fed Fam for Life across all social media. You will never find me on Facebook. Facebook done banned 4 of my 5 profiles. I'm hanging on. I got a new one. It's Trey, TRAYR Johns. I've been banned off Twitter, but my organization is on Twitter, but Trey Rock has been banned from Twitter. Bastards. But I'm here. I'm on IG too at Trey Rock, TRAYROCK, and also Trey Mason. TRAYMASON. I am I'm here. I'm all over. You can find me. But the most important thing is my Cash App is Trey Rocks.
The most important.
ROCKS.
Okay.
That part.
Because that won't silence a Black woman. Send us some money and she'll be able to get the word out and the things done.
Absolutely. So go ahead and send them money because sometimes I gotta send them invoices. Nate, Nate, go ahead and give a shout out.
Hold up. Before we leave. Oh, I'm sorry, Nate. Before we leave, I just want to congratulate.
Oh, what? Go.
I'm sorry.
Nate _Turner _CEO on Instagram. You can check out the Mind Grind Entertainment page on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, look for Mind Grind Entertainment. Same thing with Facebook. We around, man. Nathan Ross Incorporated is a nonprofit organization. So feel free to check us out as well. Peace and love, everybody. Thank y'all.
Go ahead, Nubian. What you had to say? What's up?
Well, what I wanted to say was I just wanted to congratulate Fed Fam for Life, Dignity Power, which I'm a member of both, for getting dang near $1 million to free Diamond's Ford, and her husband, fiance, Anthony, will be coming home. So I just wanted to really, really send a shout out because Trey was very instrumental in making that happen. And she's been working her butt off going city to city. So I just want to show you some love, sis, because I truly appreciate how I see you moving, and I see you, I feel you, and I love you.
Appreciate that.
Yes. If y'all have not heard of Diamond's Ford case, y'all definitely go ahead and Google that. I'm kind of like, after hearing her story, I know why the media didn't really put it out there like that. They don't want anybody getting any bright ideas about stuff. But it's a really, really, it's a really interesting story that everybody needs to follow and stay on top of. And in light of that story in particular, we need to make sure that we do our best to stay on top of all the stories that involve us, especially when it comes to our Black women, because unfortunately we don't control our media, and it's easier for major networks to bury stories, and something comes up that takes our attention away. So we have to be diligent on staying on top of our people and making sure that we keeping track of everything that's going on with our people, and again, especially with our Black women. So one more time for us, I know if you're looking at this, you already probably know what the social media is for Lock Shots, but that's at LOCSHOTZ, not SZ, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. It's Lock Shots Media. All right, so we're building out this media platform so we can have more people creating opportunities for people to have their voice heard, because again, we don't own our media, but we have a lot of stories that need to be heard, and we're controlling our narrative. And again, I want to thank you all, my beautiful Black people. Shout out to all my Nubians, all my Jasmines, all my Trey Rocks, Brother Nate, and everybody watching. One more time, love y'all. Peace.
There's no all my Trey Rocks. There's just one.
Oh, yeah.
Peace out.